5 ways to find the best areas for serviced accommodation. My name's Ryan from Next Level Property Investing, part of the Luke Holmes Academy, teaching entrepreneurs just like yourself how to acquire property fast. For me, there's 5 main ways that you can check demand and make sure that serviced accommodation unit's going to work. Number 1, Airbnb is as good a tool as anything. You can spy on other hosts, you can see how long they've been operating for, you can check availability on calendars, you can see how many properties are within a certain postcode, certain area, and you can also see prices as well. So using all that information, collecting it and using it for the right format and putting it into the right sort of spreadsheet, etc., you can start to see patterns, and ultimately it can give you that confidence that you need that this is going to work or it's not going to work in that certain area. Second one is Google Maps. For me, just quickly searching, hotels in NE4 or NE1 or whatever your postcode might be that you're potentially analysing your deals for, and just see what comes up when the graph comes up, when the map comes up, and just see how many properties are around, what the prices are looking at. You're not really looking into it too deep at this stage. You don't really need to examine whether they're hotels or whether they're serviced accommodation type setups. You're just looking to see what the trend is for that type of accommodation, for travelling guests in that certain area. Third one is hotels. So for me, a big sign is how many hotels are within a mile radius of your property, how many hotels are within 5 mile radius of the property. At the end of the day, hotels spend a lot of money researching and making sure that their hotel is going to get off the ground quickly, make sure that their rooms are going to be full. If you've got things like travel inns, premier inns, travel lodges nearby, they're great signs as well, because these massive franchises spend a lot of money making sure that they're picking the right location before they even lay a brick or before they even start putting furniture in to set these things up. So hotels, great sign for me, and something that I rely on probably more than anything is what is the hotel circumference. And again, by just banging that data into a spreadsheet, you can start to see patterns and you can start to see what works and what doesn't work. Again, you might want to list how many bedrooms the hotel's got, which you can find off their website. So, it just shows you how many people, if someone's got a 100 or 200 bedroom hotel and they've been operating for some time, you'd say that there's a demand there for that type of accommodation. Number 4 is dummy adverts. You can put dummy adverts on Airbnb. Just make sure you set them as pre-approvals rather than instant book, and then you'll get the messages through and you'll get a feel for the type of people trying to book the accommodation, as well as what type of stay lengths they want, and ultimately whether it's busy or not. Now, most people are used to this instant book right now, so don't be alarmed if you're not getting loads of messages on the pre-approval side of things, because most people would probably just be swayed towards a property that is instant book. But if you are getting a few messages, then it shows you that, again, that there probably is a bit of a demand there for serviced accommodation. Well, finally, you've got to use your gut instinct. A lot of people can get paralyzed by analyzing deals, analysis paralysis as it's known as. They're searching for the perfect deal. They're wanting the magic spreadsheet to tell them that it's going to work for 100% with no risk involved, and ultimately that does not happen. You've got to be able to do your due diligence, and then you've got to actually make a gut instinct as well. So for me, I've always, if I'm going on a viewing and I don't like the street that I'm driving down, I always kind of put myself in the mind frame of a guest. So if a guest's driving down the street and there's loads of boarded up houses, what are they going to think? What's their first impression going to be? Not great, okay? Now that doesn't necessarily mean that it won't work, because, that's just part of certain streets and certain setups, and you could have an absolutely amazing property inside. So that is not an absolute no-no, but it's just my sort of gut thing is, how do I feel on this street? How would I feel parking my van outside or my car outside? How would I feel walking around with my child if I was visiting on a sort of tourist sort of visit? So gut instinct. Then when you're going inside the property, what do you not like? Instantly, what do you not like? And then, can you fix it? That's got to be the main thing. And if you can, how much is it going to cost? And then, is it going to be viable? Because, a bit of damp or a bit of a quirky back garden or whatever it might be, just if there's anything that jumps out that you don't like, it might be a glary kitchen, it could be, horrible bathroom tiles, whatever it might be, that could just be enough to put your guests off. It could be enough to get you a bad review, and it could be enough to obviously then drop your bookings down, your listing down the algorithms, and ultimately, you know, prevent you in getting those bookings and maximizing that occupancy. So, you know, your gut instinct tells you a lot. I've bought a lot of property. In fact, all the properties I've bought or rented or taken on as a managed agreement, we've done so with a pure gut instinct. I've walked away from deals that have looked good on a spreadsheet because I just didn't get that gut sort of feeling that this is the right thing. And I think you know when you know it's the right thing, and I think you know when it's not. So if you are getting that sort of, I don't think this is the right property for us, I don't think it's the right location, I don't think it's going to work, trust that and go with it and just move on. There's plenty of properties out there. You know, quick search before I came on this, there was 3,500 rental properties in Newcastle. There was 5,500 properties to buy in Newcastle. So we only need 50 to 100 of them to, you know, blow your lifestyle up, you know. And you know, when there's so much property out there, so don't try and force a bad deal into your portfolio just for the sake of getting a number on. You know, that can cost you a lot of time and a lot of money, which could ultimately stop your growth. So just to recap, number one, Airbnb, use that tool. It's a great tool. Use the calendars. Number two, Google Maps. Again, you know, another sort of just a visual of what's around. Number three, hotels for me is the key one. 4 dummy ads, and a great way to do it, get a feel if you're not sure of the area. And 5, you know, your gut instinct. You've got to rely on your gut instinct. Even if 1, 2, 3 and 4 saying yes and your gut instinct says no, I would always go no. So in the ideal world, you want sort of all 5 to line up, give you that confidence, but ultimately you're gonna have to take the risk. You're gonna have to move forward. You're gonna have to make the decision. And this again is another thing that I work with on my mentees quite a lot, is just that confidence of, is this the right deal? Should I be going for it? And when I speak to people within the industry, trying to get into the industry and everything in between, one of the biggest things that holds people back is the confidence factor of, are they getting the right deal? And ultimately, no one can say you are getting the right deal. You can just do the best due diligence possible, but you're going to have to invest and you're going to have to try it out. That is the only way if you'll know whether you've got the right deal. But if you do all the steps right leading up to that point, you're going to be putting yourself in the higher percentage of that actually working out. So if you want more of this, obviously subscribe. and dropping videos every single day. And if you want to take your journey to the next level, book a free strategy call with myself. Head over to nextlevelpropertyinvesting.com, click the link and schedule a call with myself, and we can have a good chat and see what we can do for your journey as well. Take care.